Welcome back to another Confederate campaign on Grand Tactician. I've chosen some new policy, or one new policy compared to the last one. It's gonna be the Arms Agent instead of King Cotton. And then still have Old Dominion due to the increased Virginia support. I was thinking slavery to the west, but then Virginia support will be lower, and I sort of want it to be high. It's very close to the Union capital. We get that, then so we'll have to win with fighting. But this arms agent will give us Springfield rifles, though. That will be very good. Strategy will be to contest the Union blockade with ironclads and then win the battles. And with the Springfield rifle available very early, we should be able to expand our armies much quicker than relying solely on Confederate rifle projects. Let's go. So we start off with just South Carolina, Florida. We can have a Texas army, but I'm actually gonna wait with recruiting armies until the war actually starts. Let's go to finances and then have it max it out. That's only the thing we're ever gonna have is it on max. Let's go with military projects here. It will be needed in the wars to come. And now we can essentially just speed things forward. Or we can make some recruitment. Yeah, we're gonna make a recruitment here in Georgia. Should we? Nah, let's leave it until the war actually starts. We're just gonna keep an eye on the projects. We're gonna take the Austrian rifles when it's available. Get stuff these here. The Confederate rifles will be more dominant than the Springfield rifle. Springfield rifle is still very good rifle. I just have to remember that I don't forget about the ironclads also. Texas joined the Confederacy. Well, they better. Oh right, I forgot. We can build the wait, pause here. We can build ourselves the markets now. This one has a market. Colombia have a market, sir? Do not think so. Okay, there. We're not gonna make a fancy, you know. Oh, Atlanta can also have it, and then we're gonna build a prison camp. It'll always be handy. Deny the Union some resources. Here we have a port, so it could be good. Better to just have these expenditures early on than to actually wait until the war actually starts and our costs have gone up. And these markets will just increase the efficiency of the troops. We already have a market here, I suppose. Yep, good. You don't need markets everywhere, but it's damn useful. The Dallas, Texas, you need a market. Go for August or Yes, and well, if it's gonna be I don't know. I never really made it in Texas, but that was just 2.5, so maybe it's worth. Anyway, we're done with the market. Come what may, let's build ourselves a prison camp so we have somewhere to place our prisoners of war. Needed. They come. They will. 4.2. Let's start the war. The clock again. Essentially, I'm just waiting here for the projects now to be finished. Now the Springfield rifles will be much quicker to make than Confederate armies established. Very well. So do we have it finished? Well, almost. The rating is AA, as in anonymous alcoholics. Their policies done. Now let's go for the militia so that we have the more men available to us. Soon we will have the projects, because now with that military project we got much more founding. The militia act is just 10 days, so it's nothing. Now all the markets has arrived and they picked the station. We will do the same. Yeah, the war is soon to begin, and I have not built any factories because I'm waiting with that. There we go. Dallas calls for militia, and we have an administration reform available to us. Now we shall go for the industrialization. Now let's take the project here. Administration reform reduces the time of the project. Now we have Springfield rifles. Yes, it's important we take this one. Gonna modernize our fighting force. Military weapons, Springfield rifle. We have already a very high standardization in this one, and it's a very cheap weapon. May not be the best, but it's cheap. Soon the war has started. Just checking the time. Is it just 11 minutes so far? Wow. Well, I am 550 speeding it, so it goes fast. Check out. Now we will go for the Confederate rifles next. We can hold them off with just 3. Granted, the cavalry, sir, is gonna be crucial. And then we're gonna go for Lawrence rifles as well. Now the war will have started now. Let's go normal speed. Because that news will just come up that the war has started. We had 9,000, but we got 1,135 more. But due to the resources now, when we are gonna have a war now, the resources are gonna initially go up. Cost of it. 5 speed it. As we take Fort Sumter, now we're at war. Our industrialization is almost done. We could go for regulars, but that's just, we get very good training, but not gonna be worth it. There, we're at war. Now it's very critical for me to give the right man the right. See, we're gonna replace him with Grant, obviously. He's an engineer. We want engineers, and we can have him control the artillery. Johnston, you have the infantry. Let's go for Springfield rifles. Good. That little Mississippi rifle of yours, you can stay there, but the rest of you, gonna go for Springfield rifles. Is that clear, sir? Yes, sir. Very well, sir. And Army of Tennessee. That's just horrible. Frost. Good for you, sir. Tennessee, 1,500. So we get those regiments up like in numbers. Then we can flesh them out with quality weapons, a bit better. For administration, of course we want them. Okay, Rag, you can control that artillery unit. You are a mediocre amateur. Let's go for a 500 cavalry regiment here. Gonna have a couple of cavalry units. Can't just go for okay, he got the cavalry marshal. Good. Then you can get this gate as well. I'm not gonna bother with what kind of office they get. Okay, that's just a cavalry officer. That wasn't very good. We want the volunteers, preferably. Or, yeah, you want professional officers. If I were to go for just Tennessee officers, for Tennessee, what would I get? Okay, that's acceptable. I know, I said I wouldn't bother. But ideally, I want volunteers. Oh, poor administrator. Oh, really? Don't you know how to read? No, sir. Go for mediocre then. Good administration, that's good. Backward, yeah, well. Yeah, that's good enough. So, should we go for an offensive, sir? As a volunteer. Professional cavalry. Yeah, we could go for a better force. Let's go here. South Carolina State Militia. Special officer of infantry. That's good, sir. Couldn't pick all of them. South Carolina. Go. Not very ideal, sir. But it's gonna have to do. Florida's never gonna be anything. Okay, you get the artillery. Let's see what you get. Maybe the infantry. Bad. For that's a good cavalry. That's good enough. You. You're gonna be with the Alabama, right? All right. Portland, Brains. Get these men in order. Yes, sir. The men from Alabama over here. We can't drain the Virginia boys too much. No, sir. Gonna be a lot, almost a month before they're ready. But they're gonna be defensive anyway, so it's okay. 500 men. And another cavalry officer, don't need that one. He's a mediocre, good enough. Get the another infantry unit here. Western Army, you are from Arkansas, okay. Well, Longstreet, I don't exactly believe that you truly is an Arkansas man. But prove me wrong. This is just gonna take so long with this shuffling around. That's why I don't really care about what kind of state they're from. At least not now. And Joker is a volunteer. Okay, you guys can go here. And you're gonna be pushed back probably by the Union. So you're gonna starve yourselves, unfortunately. Okay, where do we have Missouri State Guard? There we go. We're at 5,000, so they can get 2 new recruits from Missouri. That's very good. Shenandoah Army. How are you going? Go. Now we go. Okay. Good engineer. What we want countries. Country Virginia. Here we go. I could go bigger regiments, but it would also stretch my newer weapons thin, because it will only be a couple of regiments able to actually fight with those. Here I can make it a really big army. Virginia, 3,000. Yep, let's go for massive Virginia force here. Even a force from West Virginia. It is not as reliable, but that one will be more steady over time. With time, it will be okay. Potomac, it's just a very small army. Florida, Hampton, Western Army, what kind of troops are you from? Okay, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Potomac, Tennessee. Okay, let's go for all field armies. Missouri, Shenandoah, Potomac, Tennessee. Okay. Then we need to make new armies. New armies for Texas. Oh, we need a cavalry officer. Yeah, sure. Then you need an infantryman, right? Okay, some volunteer. Here, hello, what kind of troop is you? You are a good administrator, okay? Okay, you are lots of, there we go. Texas. Let's go. And now let's make a Georgian army. It is a very big army though. With 9,800 men. We can definitely do something with those. And should I just not bother what kind of officers it is, so I'm just gonna like, cry when I see something extremely wrong. 1,500. So very well. What kind of troops do you have here? Infantry. Infantry for days. Ah. Okay, can we get a cavalry? He's a okay. Reynolds 3. Okay, he's a cavalry officer. We can give Georgia 1 cavalry officer. Now we're gonna go to Mississippi and then North Carolina. We're gonna mass recruit. Here we go. How will this affect my finances? I expect it to be extremely heavy on the finances, but it's a war. And we can always take villages from the Union, thus increasing our own income. There we go. North Carolina is now set up. Now let's go for Mississippi. A very hasty Adolphus Hyman. Good engineer. Engineers are like very good when you just want to defend. And where did we go for here? We went this the army of Mississippi, okay. $1,500. Well, we know that the AI do make artillery reform, but in the last episode I did not really see new weapons being made. I mean, why not? That was quite disappointing. Like this, it did advertise in the patch that the AI would be improved, like it had been improved and all that. So when you play a new campaign, when it's been patched, you expect it to be better. Like I did just, I had better weapon. The plain rifle was really a power weapon. It's much more powerful than what you think it is. Let's see, 1,500. Other than that, the battles will be sort of the same. It is rather similar strategies on the battlefield that you will use. Yeah. Then it will be more like a financial aspect. Let's check the time here. 26 minutes. Okay. Now they're calling it a civil war. That wasn't very civil of them. Let's see, Shenandoah, you have a lot of troops going up. And you don't need to get all that upset about me going mediocre. It's just so that the enemy doesn't drain their resources and weapons, because it will take time for them to make their manufacturing, if they're gonna use it this time. I can't give everybody the best weapons from the get-go. But Georgia, almighty Georgia, bring forth your righteous army. What kind of troops do we have here? Let's build ourselves a hospital. Gonna need it to reduce casualties. Make it one here, where it sort of can reach both the Shenandoah and the Potomac armies. Potomac is just a very small army. I'll have to take care of that one. Shenandoah got all my resources, went into this army. Gonna take a while. But just 11 days for the recruits to get in there, so it's not end of the world. And here, how fast do the recruits come in here? Gonna come in quite rapidly, I would assume. Johnston, oh Johnston. A recruitment crisis. Ah, cowards. 7.3 days until we got industrialization. That's good, so I will increase our budget substantially. We have to wait until the army of Tennessee, then we can start pushing up here. Preferably, we want to stop the Union from building that fort up. Hampton's division is just guarding in the rear. Robert E. Lee's army is just chilling, building up some strength. Union is gonna push here, no doubt. Religious of yeah. So, sir, you are not very fond of each other. Georgian army. Oh, army of Texas have to wait. What's this? Uh-huh. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot. You usually order the Missouri State Guard to fall back. But here they're actually fighting. They are gonna lose that one for sure. They are just gonna get pushed back. They're on the wrong side of the river. But that's not a big deal. Missouri State Guard is hardly never really in any real fighting. Six days till victory. Ah, take a little while, but soon we'll start getting the Confederate rifle. The readiness is just going up. So we will have a slight setback in the beginning of the war, but it's going to be compensated for later. That sort of sound I will have to phase out somehow. I don't really know how. If I like remove all sounds, then maybe you won't hear musketry and all that. So Army of Shenandoah, they're important to take this iron mine here from the Union Army. I am essentially just waiting for the men to arrive here so that the readiness will increase again. Every trooper that I get in is a blessing. It will increase my firepower just a little bit more. And our Springfield rifles are getting standardized. The Springfield rifle was the most common infantry weapon of the Civil War on both sides. The Richmonds were actually not built in very big numbers. Neither was the Fayetteville. I think Fayetteville was like the best. It was like the full weaponry, whilst the Springfield rifle was maybe a somewhat simplified design that you just took it to crank out as many of them as possible. And like the Southerners were more prepared for the war than the Union in the very beginning. The common belief that the Union had modern weapons and all that, but in fact it was the Southerners that had the rifles at the beginning. They had like stolen it from the Union barracks, so this depiction of that agent is actually historically accurate. Um, and the Union were like, do we need to spend all those money while we can get cheap muskets just to take the, it's the same principle. What's the difference? It was a hell of a difference this time. Do I expect to win every battle? I won't win the auto resolve, especially not win the Missouri State Guard. I won't win that one. The enemy can also be too many of them that the AI simply refuses to fight it. If I actually go into a manual battle, I should have a clear advantage. That sort of arrangement. Now let's push the and take the iron mine with the area of influence. We're being upgraded, sir. What are you doing here? Supply alerts for what? North Carolina? What on earth? Are you saying me we have no wheat? We're out of wheat. No! There, we got some troops in here now. Okay, let's see what kind of troops we can get in here. Terror of the sea. Get some more Springfield rifles. Yes, sir. Indeed. You get a Springfield rifle. You get a Springfield rifle. Everybody gets a rifle. I do have also like Mississippi's and all that. Go to weapons. Just go to the depot and see what we got. We got 4,700 or 47,000 Springfield muskets. We have Mississippi's 6,400. Some plain rifles, but not a lot. Some Maynards. Uh, yeah, that's our army. Now we have taken the iron mine. Mahaha! Victory! Let's go and just have the Springfield rifle available for now. Very well, Jones. Very well indeed. Okay, Missouri State Guard has retreated and been defeated. This will bolster the Union morale a little bit and lower mine. But this is not a reason to panic. See, we can go cast artillery for bronze guns, recruitment officers for more recruitment. for agents. Now we could go armored gunboat. I have not forgotten that I also promised to go a little bit of these are very low. What I want to go is for the ironclad gunboats, or maybe even the rebuilt ironclads, which is level 3, which should be far stronger than what the other Union ships will be. And then over time, the more Union soldiers or ships, the enemy will probably not replace them, so it will cost them more. We are building up some more Springfield rifles. So, do I really need the Confederate rifles? Yes, I do need the Confederate rifles. It's more rifles, and then when I add that with legacy rifles and the Austrian rifles, it's just gonna be a lot of modern weaponaries that's gonna flood the gate. It's just that I need to cover the ports. My ports will have to be protected. And now I'm going military 2 here, so we can get some more projects faster. Wow, reborn muskets. That's pride of the nation. Not really. Officially, yes. But the official answer is not always correct. Sometimes you just give answers what they just want to hear, eh? To the press. Yes, we beat them easily. Yes, we can win before Christmas. Yeah, I've been quite like really going to the Total Conflict Age of Resistance. Therefore, I have not really played a lot of Great War Western Front. And I know the interest in that game is not very high. At least I need to get better at it uh, before. At least when elite regular difficulty, no problem. It's the elite difficulty that's a problem. So I'm going with a lot of defensive Germany, but I'm gonna to stick to talking about this game, this campaign, not just randomly talk. So Robert E. Lee, you're consolidating. Can you get yourselves another division? We need more Virginia boys, if you know what I mean. Virginia, give me more troops for Virginia. For no, that's a for administrator, maybe a cavalry officer. Cavalry would be, yep. We're gonna go for a Virginia cavalry here. Missouri. I'm not gonna go for a core system here. I'm just gonna go for yeah, the random officers, as long as not an artillery officer or something else. That is totally off the hook. Come on, Georgia, you have already 4,000. So yeah. Now it is almost an hour. So now it's time to pause the video and see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.